Hello, VOD watchers, and welcome in to part 25. Cyberpunk 2077 with a therapist. I hope you enjoyed part 24. I know I certainly did. I'm excited for when Takamura is going to call us today on this stream to get the ball rolling. Thank you as always for supporting my content by watching it. Thanks for making it this far. Those of you that have become members of the channel by hitting the join button down below, or have sent a tip, or have purchased merchandise while I'm offline, I want to thank you for doing that. Thank you for supporting the channel in the way that you have. Please share my stuff. Join me on social media. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You might have even found the stream from that. Check out some of my other playthroughs, as well as some of the mental health content that I have available on my channel as well. There's a lot of folks that still watch these videos regularly who are not subscribed to the channel. Take a second and hit subscribe. You can turn off notifications if you don't want them, or if you do want to know when I'm live, turn them on. It'll let you know when I'm live. It's usually 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. Feel free to leave a comment at some point on this video. I certainly appreciate that, and I love reading them. And yeah, we should have a good one today. I'm going to announce one more time. We do have Cyberpunk themed merchandise available as a nice little ode to the meme that has happened through this playthrough of not talking to Takamura. You can get the Not Right Now Takamura shirt. It's available as a t-shirt, a crew neck sweatshirt, or as a mug. Feel free to check that out at drmickmerch.com. All right, let's roll. So we got to wait for Takamura to call us, and let's see if there's anything for us to knock out while we wait for him, or if maybe we're better off. Ah, there we go. There we go. A nice little side job that we can do while we wait. Maybe. Why is this waypoint not working? There we go. Okay. Alright, so we got a little gig to do here while we wait. Let's get in the Batmobile. Sure that volume's good. Yeah, Hanako's bodyguard didn't really believe us when we were dealing with what we were dealing with last episode, and I can't say I blame him. It's hard to know whether he actually does believe us and he just can't bring himself to acknowledge the reality of it, or if he legitimately doesn't believe us. I think it would be a hard pill to swallow, the idea that Yorinobu would take out Saburo. And that tells me one of two things. Either people don't have enough context for Yorinobu's relationship to his father, or it's just way too dangerous to acknowledge that that may have actually been what happened. I'm sort of surprised that we have not really run into anybody yet, that at least that I can recall, that has said something along the lines of, oh, that totally makes sense that Yorinobu would kill his father. Right? Like, that's kind of fascinating that nobody's really taken that stance where they're like, oh, yeah, could totally see that. I mean, can't believe he actually did it, but could totally see that. You really keep their relationship hush-hush. Great. What's going on here?
Cock-sucking suits.
God. I hate dealing with cops.
Fuck you looking at? Nothing to see here. Move along.
Doesn't seem to be true.
What's going on here?
This your first day in Night City? What's it fucking look like? Get out of here, pissant.
Leave him alone.
See this badge? That means I can do whatever the fuck I want. Shotgun.
Oh, boy. Skippy!
Big boy, come on out.
Oh, man. See this badge? It means I can do whatever I want. Unfortunate how many people have actually had to hear somebody say that in a position of authority. Alright. Oh, yeah. Didn't I get my ass handed to me last time we tried to intervene here?
Rise and shine, Corpo Swine.
Oh, shit. Well, if it wasn't for you, I'd be... Well, thank you. Were you sent by the company?
Wrong answer.
Then, hold on. What do you want from me?
The truth. What do they want from you?
I have no idea. They said something about some slut and a virtue. But when I asked what I had to do with it, they started beating on me so hard, I thought I'd die. This city's really going down the drain. For the police to do this in plain sight for no reason.
Go on. Get out of here.
But I don't understand. Just like that. For nothing in return.
Nothing.
I don't believe you. You saved me just like that because you felt like it?
Don't measure others by your own yardstick, prick.
What a line. I was literally just about to pause to say this, and then V went and said that, which is pretty great. You get a lot of information from people based on what they project about your intentions when they don't know what they are. We just got some real insight into what this guy's corpo life is like. Everything is an ulterior motive. Nobody does anything unless they have something to gain from it personally. And this guy at this point is so immersed in that, he just assumes that if I'm helping him, it must be because there's some sort of ulterior motive. That there's no way that I could possibly do this because I'm just trying to take care of him. And it's really sad. It's an indictment on the world that guy lives in and that he's learned to navigate. And so when he doesn't know my intentions, he projects his own. You know, maybe this is something that only he would do if he had something to stand to gain from it, that he'd walk away from a situation like this, that he can't even fathom the idea that somebody would come into his aid just because it might be the right thing to do. You learn a lot about people, folks, through what they say to you when there are unknowns involved. Wait, did you really, Victoria? That's awesome. Found you mag dumping your pistol in that cop's face funnier than I probably should have. Yeah, me and Skippy we went ham there. Oh, I can't break into the cop car. Ah. Oh, I need 20. Alright, well. That about does it, except for the brawls, which I just can't do because I'm a little weenie McBitch that can't punch worth a damn. So there's really nothing I can do there. I think what I'm gonna do is go. Oh, let's go get a couple tarot cards. Like, I want to knock some stuff out while we wait for Takamura instead of going to my apartment. Like, I want to be awake and I want it to be in real time when the man calls me. My build is actually pretty evenly distributed for the most part. I have not... I've just sort of like been distributing it where I want to. Sometimes I'll save them for certain situations when my ability is like one-off. Like last stream we had one where I needed 13 to intimidate somebody, so I did that, but pretty equally distributed. At some point I'll have to be a brawler, but I do want to know what happens when I get all these tarot cards. Just now? That's awesome, Victoria. I appreciate it. trying to avoid doing that the whole time. Didn't matter. I am surprised by the lack of parking in this game. Like, there's so many cars, and there's just nowhere to park them. Excuse me. Mind if I don't mind if I take the grenade out of that case that's in front of you, ma'am. Right, so that's one more tarot card down. Filter tarot. All right, let's see. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, and then we have 6, and then we have all the tarot cards. Snag some of these. God, literally everything in this town is advertising too. There's just so much interest in trying to shift folks' ideas of what's important. So it's really, like, advertising is so indicative of culture, but also shapes culture. I know we've talked about this a little bit, but you can see how, like, sexualized everything is. It's sort of like we've taken our core like needs and desires, and they've just like hyperbolized them in Cyberpunk, in Night City here in 2077, and like people are, you know, constantly striving to achieve, you know, higher levels of, you know, these basic needs than what, god damn it, what I was saying, than like what we generally would be able to accomplish. And that's a pretty slippery slope, because you start getting into, you know, sex that goes beyond what's generally possible, and then people are constantly looking to up the novelty, sort of like raise their tolerance. It's a miserable place to live. Yeah, even in your apartment, there's glowing advertisements. Like, they're everywhere. Death. These tarot cards are really neat. They just look cool. I should wonder how close we are to Takamura calling us. Because we really did some stuff after he called us last stream. Chat, while we're rolling around here doing our thing, grabbing these tarot cards, this would be a good time. If you have any questions about anything we've done up until this point, or if you want me to expand my thoughts on anything, I'm more than happy to do that. Because we're just sort of driving around taking snapshots of these things. I know sometimes people are afraid to ask me questions because we're sort of like in the moment of what we're doing. And so if you've been curious about anything, now's the time. We're just on a little bit of a joyride here. Corpos literally own everything, so the only thing that you can own is how you look, and everything is trying to get your attention and use their products for your own individuality. It's a really good point. Only thing you can modify is yourself. What's up, Chief? Good to see you. Abandoned apartment building. I'm surprised that these apartment buildings go abandoned. Like, you would think that they would renovate these, if for no other reason than to make a fat profit off of it.
Well, well, well.
The High Priestess. Interesting. Clean needles for donors only. This is eerie, man. €740 just chilling there, huh? You think Judy made the right call walking away, moving to a different state? Could she have dealt with things better with everything that went down? I completely respect Judy's decision to leave. Completely respect it. She has sent us numerous texts since she left that it insinuates that she is glad she left. If she needed a change of scenery and that's a boundary she needed to set with her environment, I am all for it. It is not my determination to decide what's the best way for her to navigate everything she's been through. And if she needed to change the scenery, I respect it. Also, Takamura, what's up? What are you doing? I still don't know whether we did right by revealing ourselves to Okada-san. Trust is like a sake that should be drunk chilled and in moderation. Thanks for the tip. I'll keep it in mind. What, suddenly she's not a delightful, mature woman? Just thanks for the tip. I'll keep it in mind. He really is nasty to her. What is this? B. Chumbada, heard you're making the name for yourself. Making Eddie's got a new look, new wheels, works. How about some new digs, too? Got something for you. My Chum Bob over at Easy Estates told me there's a few fresh units for rent. Go check their site or visit them in person before the Gaunt grabs the last one. Thanks, I'll check it out. I'm not interested in that. A pickup truck for sale? Nah. Judy, hey from Seattle. Man, she's just moving up the west coast. Wow, Seattle looks awesome. Seattle's calling. What are you doing there? They got a pretty Nova Virtue studio here. Wanted to check it out from up close. Maybe I'll rent out space for a couple days, play around with their tech, do some experimenting. We'll see, but I'm not planning on staying long. Where to after? Gonna head east, roam around the country a bit. Probably won't have a cig for a while. Hang in there, alright? I will. I love that she still corresponds with us. I'm sure you'll manage just fine. If I'm ever back in Night City, we can crack some beers on the roof and you'll tell me everything and I probably won't believe any of it. Anyway, bye, V. Later, Judes. Alright, there's a sale at the gun store. Alright, good enough. Is there a thing on the map for Misty? I was kind of curious after that Bat Monk series of quests if there'd be something with her. We can stop by and talk to her at some point. I know where she is. She's over by Vic. I have a medical question that I have a medical condition that prevents me from standing for more than 30 minutes at a time, and most of my family invalidates me about it. What's the strategy to not let them affect me? Oh man, that's a hard one because in a lot of ways it makes sense that that would affect you. I don't know. I mean, because to some extent to answer that question is to say just ignore it. You know, like, or reframe it into something else. That's a hard one because there's a lot of complexity to that. I don't know that I have an answer for you on that one, Queen. Because it's obviously, you know, anytime something like that affects a person, it affects them for a reason. It may be, you know, depending on how safe it is to do so, it may be worth a conversation about the impact it has. Right? Because to just be like, how do I make sure it doesn't affect me, is to, in some ways, enable that behavior. It doesn't hold people accountable to the fact that they're doing something that's hurting you. And I don't generally like the idea of enabling folks that are hurting us by not saying anything, but I do realize that every circumstance is different, so... There's I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but there's an actual TV channel that's called Ads Only in Night City. It's literally just a channel full of advertisements. I mean, I suppose it's probably similar to like QVC now, but like, that just seems odd that you would turn on a channel that's all advertisements. That doesn't sound particularly fun to me. Oh gosh, I could have hit this thing while we were here with Takamura, and I didn't. I got in the car with him instead. Yeah, Judy seems to be doing great. So, I mean, as even a callback to that, like...
Interesting.
Judy doing what she needs to do is great. For a lot of people, a change of scenery can make a huge difference in their lives. Who's this guy? What's up, buddy? Herman Nazarov. What's up, buddy?
My name is Legion, for there are many of us.
All right, he's a big fan of Mass Effect. Cool. Keep doing your thing, Legion. I'm just here for the tarot card. Oh, no, Queen, it's fine. Ask as many questions as you want. It's what I'm here for. I just, you know, there are some that I can answer a little more easily than others. Unfortunately, that's not an easy one to answer. Only ads? Sounds like torture. Seriously, there's a channel that is all advertisements. My name is Legion. Good night. Oh my god, why is it so bright in my car right now? Oh god. Meant to do that. Woo, meant to do that. There we go. Waiting for Takamura to call. It's 7:39 a.m. Gotta be getting close. Stan? Am I about to get a...
Hello,
Yep.
my name is Arif Iqbal, and this is WNS News. In today's international segment, we turn our eyes towards Asia. The summit between China and India has ended with the signing of a new trade agreement. Under the agreement, the tariffs for iridium, dysprosium, and lanthanum, rare metals necessary for the construction of the Chi-Yu-2 orbital station, have been lifted. The signatories have also agreed to the free movement of organic persons and biopodders between the two countries. This is the latest step in the two nations' push for greater economic integration, and the benefits such cooperation brings. This flies in stark contrast to the NUSA's protectionism and trade war policies under President Myers. In science news, biotechnical researchers have announced another breakthrough in genetics: the restoration of 3 previously extinct animal species: the North American beaver, the swift fox, and the eastern cottontail. Though back from the dead, these species will not be reintroduced to their natural habitats for fear of an increased risk of zoonotic disease, similar to the great bird flu of 2061 and the rat fever of 2072. For the time being, the animals will only be grown on special order. The people of Turkey are bracing themselves for a radioactive sandstorm yet again this year. Meteorologists expect southern winds to carry several dozen tons of irradiated dust from the former states of Syria, Iraq, and Iran. The fallout from these territories, devastated during the so-called suicide war, remain the primary source of radiation that falls onto Europe and the eastern Mediterranean. After the break, we take a closer look at the new sneakers from Avante that hit nice shelves
great.
tomorrow.
Wow, can't wait. What's your favorite game series, if you have one? Mass Effect. Mass Effect, Destiny. Favorite game of all time is Star Fox 64, but Mass Effect is probably my favorite series ever. I get a sense we're in, like, hostile territory right now. I just want the... Oh, okay. Kendachi, new spring catalog. Oh, our mission. At Kendachi, we are creators. We care about our customer satisfaction and their budget. By choosing our products, you can be confident no euro dollar invested goes to waste. Kendachi, the choice is obvious. Our products. Kendachi M55 Power Sword. For our blade buffs, our iconic Power Sword is back and better than ever. Dice your foes into tiny pieces without breaking a sweat using our latest micro-serrated crystal blade technology. With highest quality materials crafted in a lethal yet elegant design, the Power Sword will look as good in your mantle as it does in your hand. The Kendachi Mono 2 Classic. You can't improve upon perfection. This time-honored twin blade has been in continuous production since 2019. Lit by a custom color, handle-embedded laser, the Mono 2 has never gone out of style. Block every blow and slice through any defense. We wouldn't keep making them if people weren't buying them. Order yours today. The Kendachi Monowire. A weapon as discreet as it is deadly. Made for those who desire power but have no urge to flaunt it, this molecule-thin blade is manufactured by our teams of expert engineers in our state-of-the-art orbital facility. The monowire can bear loads up to 3,000 pounds and slices through armor weaves like butter-flavored scop spread. Rumor is, many officials at the Zurich convention wanted this weapon banned and off the market. Now, if that's not high praise, we don't know what is. Yeah, amen. Alright, well, why not explore a little bit? Hostile area. This looks kind of familiar. Did we come in here one time? I feel like we've been in here. We've definitely been in here. It's weird that that gate closed when we... I think I'm nice and strong. Alright, we got that one. Let's go get that one, and then we'll come back down for the last one. I think we might only have 2 left. Making good progress here. You came here with Judy to find Evelyn? Yeah, I was gonna say it looked familiar. Oh, look at that power slide. Hell yeah. That one wasn't as good. What's up, Solar? Good to see you, friend. What's up, Darren? Popped into Jared's stream a couple days ago and told him playing Flight Sim made me think of him because of how much he hates that game. Good times. He is not a Flight Sim fan. That is true. 8:10 a.m. Waiting on Takamura's call. Oh man, are we going into Beverly Hills here? At least my car fits in. Okay, well, that was interesting. I'm telling you, there's way more visual glitches in this now since the update. Like that car just straight up disappearing like that. And me still hitting it.
Have the marketing team stick a link onto that old lady in the gallery. She paid a fortune. She'll get a 5 seconds of fame.
Already told them. They're also tagging a link on the Delamain. Saw one pass while we were shooting.
Good, well, at least that's over with. How was the interview? Bearable?
That a serious question?
Okay, you got me.
Wolves only howl at night. The moon. Oh, that's cool. What level are you now? I am level 32, I think. Yeah, 31. Level 31. All right, one more tarot card. Oh, 2 more tarot card. Damn. Oh, we got to go such a long way for that one. Don't have any more out there, so we got to get 1 down there. Oh, of course. Of course they're on polar opposite sides of the city. Yeah, Solar, if you, hey, I just dropped by to make sure I didn't overstep or anything. I saw that message I sent and the questions was removed. Yeah, so Solar Fires, in the questions for DrMick channel, those are questions that can only be answered by me. I know sometimes people like to try to answer some of those questions because they feel like they have an answer for it, but one of the rules of that channel is that when people tag me to ask questions in that specific channel, they're asking me, and that if they wanted to ask the community, they would use the support channel. So I removed it because you answered in the questions for DrMick channel. That's why. I missed your question there. Yeah, getting up there, 31. I actually don't even know what the level cap is in this game. I don't really, oh, god damn it. I don't really care, but. Okay, there we go. So my therapist actually sent me a message that she thought I was doing great and asked if I'd be willing to give up my spot. I feel like I'm doing better than I have in a long time. That's pretty awesome to hear, Darren. How, it's interesting that, your therapist would say, hey, like, you're doing good, so can I open your spot up? That's pretty cool. If that has, you know, if your therapist saying that sort of builds confidence and helps you connect more with how well you're doing and, like, some of the progress you've made, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, Solar. All good. It happens. You're not the only person that's ever done that. So I just remove it and move on. But yeah, just for future reference, the questions for DrMick channel on Discord, which if you're watching the VOD, if you're not in our Discord community, you really should be. There's over 2,000 people in there at the time of this video being made, and there's a really awesome community around there. There's support channels from the community. There's a space to ask me questions. There's mental health chat, different video game chat. There's chats about our playthroughs. A lot of good stuff in the Discord. I really encourage y'all to check it out. It's also where I make a lot of announcements about the stream. So if you're ever, you know, planning for me to be live and I'm not, there's a good chance that I announced that I was going to cancel in the Discord. Also, that's where I announce special events and such. So feel free to hang out in there. I know everybody and their brother has a Discord. I know that it can be sort of annoying to join other people's Discords because you're worried about getting pinged all the time. I try to only ping people once a day when I actually go live and then when I do a weekly announcement or if something crazy comes up. But I try to keep pings to a minimum. But I do encourage you to join it if you haven't already. It was nice having her as support. Is that the right use of therapy? Like, I got her point, but I also didn't give her up, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, Darren, it's your therapy. I think whenever we reach a point, so as a therapist, if we reach a point where therapy does not seem to be therapeutic anymore because a person has essentially progressed to a point where they're no longer utilizing therapy as therapy, it is on us to have a conversation with folks about that and to be curious about that and say, like, hey, you know, I noticed that, like, therapy's gotten mostly to chit chat at this point. I just want to check in and see what kind of utility it still has for you and how you're doing. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a therapist that you see occasionally as a support. And really, like, you should not ever be asked to give up your spot. I would, again, I'm not trying to make a call on your therapist here, but, like, I personally, I would never reach out to a client and say, I think you've accomplished your goals. Can I please give up your spot to other folks? Like, usually if people have sort of achieved their goals and therapy's not really going in the direction, like, it's not as therapeutic anymore, then there's a conversation about that, and maybe we talk about, like, reducing or whatever, but that should be a conversation more than, like, your therapist coming out of nowhere and saying that. But yeah, it's totally fine to have a therapist as a support system. If that helps you maintain some of the good, healthy habits that you've been able to develop after having seen the therapist, absolutely nothing wrong with continuing to go, so long as it's therapeutically relevant for you. I mean, there are times where people will sort of reach the end of therapy and then they will continue to go and sort of treat the therapist as their friend. And if that's the case, then that has to be a conversation that the therapist brings up. But people need different things from therapy. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Yeah, right? You guys like this? I left Takamura hanging for a long time, and now he's letting me hang. The turntables, huh? Again, I think it's one of those things, if your therapist ever says something like that and facilitates a conversation about you potentially reducing sessions, I think, you know, there's an important conversation to be had there. And if therapy is still really meaningful for you and you believe that it's something that is, you know, you still want to be using it, if your therapist is going to stop seeing you, they have to be able to ethically justify their decision to stop seeing you. And opening up my caseload for other people is not really a valid reason to drop a client. Let's go get this last tarot card. I'm actually kind of glad we're knocking this out. I've been kind of dragging my ass on doing these. .9 kilometers. We're literally driving to the other side of this map. Good night, Solar. Call Takamura. 9:13 a.m. I don't even remember what time it was when he told us he'd call us. Another radio announcement coming? Finding a new one and leading off with "I'm doing the best I've had as an adult and I will rarely see you" just seems... Wait. Finding a new one and leading off with "I'm doing the best I have as an adult and I'll rarely see you" just seems weird. Not really. I mean, people use therapy for different reasons. If you were to reach out to a therapist and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody that I can meet with just semi-regularly, just to check in," there's nothing wrong with that.
Ooh, the race for the mayor's desk is taking some twisty turns, folks.
Oh.
Weldon Holt reportedly shed tears at Lucius Rhine's grave, but rumors are swirling that those tears were extra salty. Did Holt play a role in the late mayor's demise? Or is this political mudslinging at its finest? Whatever the reality, I know plausibility when I smell it. Good morning, Night City! Is it a mirage? A hologram? No, my friends, it's clear, open skies. But don't take it from me. Get out there and enjoy the sun.
No mention of Perales in that announcement about the mayor. I know Dr. Mick has like a whole caseload of people, but man, these night streams kill my sleep schedule. I know I stream at a tough time for a lot of people. Would you have been cool if they added an APC you could fly as like an endgame vehicle? Yeah. I mean, I think it would be kind of neat to be able to fly around Night City in like a little mini like gyrocopter or something. That'd be kind of cool. Have you been utilizing your turn signal? It's a great question. No, I have not. I didn't realize that turn signals were a thing in Night City because nobody else seems to use them. Which is not a good enough excuse for me to not do it. Everybody else is doing it, or not doing it, is not a good excuse to make the wrong decision. And go. Down here. Speeding along. I miss Pan Am. Maybe we should call her, see what she's up to. Poster came in last week, looks great. Just waiting for the frame, it'll go up. Good stuff. I'm glad you enjoy it, Darren. Well, I do appreciate those of you that come out here live. I really do. I appreciate the VOD watchers as well. I'm glad that I can be along for whatever time of day you watch me. But those of you that do make the effort to come out here to YouTube and hang out with me while we do these, really, really cool of you to do. Baby, we get to take the Batmobile on open highway. Love it. Close. So glad we'll be done with these. Like how there's a bush in the middle of the road like that. It's cool. We're flying. Alrighty. Star. All right, that's all of them. So I'm curious about oh, collect your reward from Regina. All right, let's do that. Oh, good. 5.2 kilometers. God damn it. I was legit about to ask if this game is set in the future and then realized it's in the name. Yeah, 2077. Do all these graffitis add up to something? I don't know. I'm curious about that as well. Like, care about apartments, side jobs. Oh, talk to Misty. All right, here. We're going to talk to Misty. Y'all were asking about Misty. We're going to go talk to her. Because she was the one that had us going around, like, she was sort of interested in them. So, let's talk to Misty. And then we'll go talk to Regina. They look like they're very close to each other. There we go. All right, we're tying up some loose ends here. When do you think Takamura is going to call us, chat? What time do you think he calls? I'm kind of surprised there's not like an interstate bypass of Night City. Oh god. Oh god. Rosif Brewing Company. I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks again for the kind words. Hey, absolutely. Have a good one, Isaac. Good to have you here. Oh shit. Oh shit. Alright. Recalculating. Another 18 streams? That would be hilarious. It is kind of, I mean, it is poetic justice. That my man Takamura is like, nah bro, you can wait for me. Jeez. This way. Takamura has a lot of side gigs to do. He only has 2 tarot cards collected. Yes. I too is looking at the tarot cards on all the walls. I too am fascinated by those. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, man. Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Accidentally hit the handbrake there. Oh, you would. Why would you do that? I do wonder, with Judy's notes back to us, What's it like up in Oregon and Washington? Is Night City really representative of the culture in other places, or is it a particularly bad spot? I would wonder that too. Like, I really would be curious about that. Because it seems like, I mean, the cities look very similar. I would have to believe that it's somewhat similar culture-wise. I have a hard time believing that these corporations are as big as they are only in Night City. You would think that they probably have some influence across the country. I mean, I think in the, you know, in the way that different regions of the country have different vibes and different cities have different culture, there is generally kind of like a unifying thread to some extent. Oh! Tigers are starting to think there's some vengeful spirit or demon hunting them. I wouldn't rule out supernatural just yet, but I suspect there are more rational explanations at hand. Yeah, it's me. We got another Cyberpsycho spot. Okay. It's true, Queen. I'm bitching about people doing dumb shit in traffic while I'm doing dumb shit in traffic. That's for sure. I just don't understand why that guy would turn his truck like that. But I guess everybody's probably asking themselves, why is the Batmobile driving like this? Which is a fair question. All right, here we are. Let's see what Misty has to say. World as will and idea. But besides all this, death is the great opportunity to no longer be I, to him who uses it. During life, the will of man is without freedom. His action takes place with necessity upon the basis of his unalterable character in the chain of motives. But everyone remembers much that he has done, and on account of which he is by no means satisfied with himself. If now he were here to go on living, he would go on acting in the same way, on account of the unalterable nature of his character. Accordingly, he must cease to be what he is in order to be able to arise out of the germ of his nature as a new and different being. Therefore, death loses these bonds and will again becomes free. For freedom lies in the essay, not in the operari. Okay, Arthur. Don't care. What's up, Misty?
I saw more of those freaky murals.
Did they start making sense? Tell any sort of story?
All just a bunch of tarot cards. I'm pretty sure my brain's now beyond repair.
The tarot tells the story of a fool's journey. Show me what you found. I'll tell you what's left.
Here.
Neat.
You're still missing 2 arcana. Judgment and the Devil. My guess is that they relate to a turning point in your life. One that's soon to arrive.
What's this Judgment about?
One possible future of redemption, transition, awakening. The angel with the trumpet symbolizes the end of an era and a call to rebirth, to a new beginning.
Rather not run into the devil. Got a feeling he's bad vibes.
That's the card of primal dormant desires, but also the will to survive.
Doesn't sound so bad, actually.
It also represents a false world, the trap these desires lay for you.
What's up with the wandering fool?
The fool is you and Silverhand. You've traveled a long road together, discovered your potential.
And where are we headed?
Your destination is the world, the final arcanum. Both of you waged a war on the world, so there are 2 possibilities. Declare victory, or make peace.
Could lose the war, too.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's true.
Life is full of an infinite amount of unknowns. Our brain cannot comprehend the entire scope of what it is that we exist in. though we have, as humans, the most developed brain that we know of in the world, it is still very limited in its capacity to understand everything. The uncertainty that comes along with that is very anxiety-provoking for a lot of people. It causes a lot of existential crises, existential anxiety. We start to wonder, what does everything mean? Is there greater meaning? What are the unknowns that need to be known, etc., etc.? And for some folks, they find solace and resolution to that anxiety through stuff like this. Spirituality, religion, stuff like this, like tarot card type things. I don't have like an official word for that. But people find a lot of comfort in these things because they make certain or fill in the gaps, things that have gaps or are not certain. It's a wonderful thing. There's nothing wrong with that. However, we do have to be mindful that what we create in terms of spirituality and religion and ritual is limited in and of itself. And we can't possibly know if that's actually the answer to things. And when we rigidly adhere to these things, particularly as we gain more understanding of the world around us, to the detriment of ourselves and our relationships, that's when it's worth critique. I think it's really cool that Misty's able to read these things, that she takes the time to create meaning. But the importance of this is less about the objective reality of what she's saying in truth, and more the way in which she and I interpret this. That says more about our experience than anything else. And I think it's important to sort of keep these things in frame.
Thanks. Didn't get much of that, but thanks.
You'll understand when the time comes. I can't explain everything. All the tarot can tell me is that you will reach the world by one of 4 paths.
Meaning?
The final leg of the journey goes through the sun, the star, temperance, or the devil.
Could just die. Not even get that.
Oh, come on. You won't let that happen. Take this. It's all I can do to help.
Is it?
Good luck, V. On whatever road you choose.
That is undoubtedly foreshadowing for, I'm sure, what's to come in the game. What did she give me? Did all of that for a trinket. What's up, Vic?
Was thinking about swapping some chrome. You got any new toys?
Have a look.
Alright, let's take a gander here. Wait, where is my stuff? Oh, here we go, okay. 12,000. Gorilla arms charged with fast attacks. Mantis blades allow you to slice and dice. Monowire charges when equipped but not used in combat. Attacks for charged wire deal bonus. Projectile launch system. This shit's so expensive. Increases Sandevistan and rate. Alright. Interested. Frontal cortex. Increases cyberdeck RAM recovery rate. Defeating an enemy instantly recovers 1 cyberdeck RAM unit. Legs. Fortified ankles to charge the power of the jump and then release to jump 30k to jump higher. A double jump? Oh, shit. Do I pay 30K for a double? Yes, I did pay, Victor. Oh my god, do I pay 30K for a double jump? I kind of want to. I want to be able to double jump. That's super badass. Super badass. Allows you to perform quick hits on targets and devices while scanning. Quick hit cooldown reduced by 45%. Trade. Well, I can. Let's sell some stuff off to him. Make some money back here. Okay. Sell him our junk. Don't have any junk apparently. Shitload of this stuff. Okay. Alright, only cost 23. Oh! Oh, baby. It's like we're playing Destiny. Love this. Woo! Good night, Queen. All right, this makes me happy. Okay, let's go. Still no Takamura, man. Still no Takamura. Maybe we neutralize... Well, where's... Okay, let's go to Regina, because Regina... We go to the Animals Club. I miss it. We still got time.
Son.
11:16. What time will Takamura call? I need to know. Eat on the brat. Oh no. No. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do... Talk to the champion. Wait, no. I don't want to do that either. I need to incapacitate Cyberpsychos. So do I just need to do that by the map? Bouncy boy, that's right. Ooh. It'd be funny if everywhere you drove in the Mercmobile it became nighttime Gotham style. It would be kind of hilarious. If if like the windshield has a filter on it. I'm actually kind of surprised that the Mercmobile doesn't have more gadgets. Like rockets or some shit that I can shoot. I mean, it does bob and weave through traffic pretty well, I will give it that. Excuse me, sir. Shit. E9, 7A, 7A. Doesn't matter. Okay. Skippy, do your worst. Oh my god.
New magazine detected. Message to user. Thanks.
Skippy. Oh, right past him. Oh, come on, Ryan.
What the hell is this?
What? Wait a minute. Where'd you go? Shit. Boom.
Bum bum dee-dum, bum bum dee-dum.
Classic aviators. I'll take them. Tana. Hey, all right. Norio Akuhara was in an op with the new boss today. His skills leave a lot to be desired compared to Soda's virtuosity. Job wasn't clean at all. Took a couple cuts to finish off some of the Sixth Streeters. Painful to watch. Julia Lee. Why didn't you help him? I know you could have finished them off before he even managed to draw his blade. Wanted to give him a chance to prove himself. Maybe it's good he got some practice. Soda always made that the top priority. Yeah, but he ruined the shirt you gave me. Besides, I don't feel any kinship with him. Don't worry, you'll get a new shirt for our new life away from this failing gang. I think a new shirt will come easier than a new life, but I guess we'll see. Sure hope I'm wrong. Though ever since I started working on my Zen, my insight's been much, much stronger. Alright, Regina. Tigers are starting to think there's some vengeful spirit. Okay, I read that. Norio is alive. Managed to give him in the air of murder. An air of murder, or Saki, as Fromm calls it in the book Zen Buddhism and the Psychoanalysis. The old samurai masters were uncanny in their skill at sensing incoming danger. Clearly, his ability didn't pass down to the Tiger Claws, a price they paid dearly for. Some folks, like Norio, need to know the cause behind everything. He searched high and low for Julia's killers until he found them. At least he didn't die from lingering doubts, or from you. I'm sort of amazed that I'm incapacitating these people instead of killing them. Like, I literally just sniped the shit out of them. Well, that's fun. I'm wearing a onesie. You like my onesie? I like my onesie. My little balaclava. Cool ass sunglasses. Damn, I look cool. This guy's got a lighter. Saratoga. Alright, let's see which Saratoga is best. I'm inclined to use that instead of the shoddy. Or I guess maybe instead of the... Oh man, I love Skippy, but... I'm just not in close combat enough. All I know is I definitely don't need to have 3 of those. So let's go ahead and disassemble 2 of them. If I change my mind at some point, I change my mind. It's an interesting fight. And another one that's right around the corner. It's 11:56. We still got nothing from Takamura, man. Is he gonna leave us hanging this entire stream? Skippy did just sing to us. Bum bum beat 'em. Bum bum beat 'em. Bum bum beat 'em. I'm loving. Let's get on this cool ass bike. Nothing to see here, folks. Woo! There we go. I'm bald on bikes, apparently. V, shit went down at a construction site downtown. My money's on another Cyberpsycho attack. Go check it out for me. Scavs sometimes come here to sell their victims' implants. Maybe a deal didn't go smoothly and one of the scavs got a little carried away.
God damn it!
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. Okay, well, that wasn't so bad. He gave us a really badass weapon. Carnage. Oh, shit. This looks like the Doom shotgun. Oh, baby. Read the shard, archive conversation. Damn it, I thought I did that. Crafting, no. Character, journal, inventory. Man, this is always such a pain in the ass. Sorry, backpack. Shard. Where's the shard? No. Cyberware. Is it journal? God damn it, man. Oh, there it is. Shards. Literature. Dollhouse. Archive conversation. Autry. Wait a minute, which one is it? Guess we'll read all of them. Read all of them. Cedric Miller. Why? 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 Shards. Rosen Bernard Ackerman. Holy shit. This is such an unintuitive system. Leaflets, People of Night City, Cyberpsycho. Oh, there it is. Okay. Need those neuroblockers, a lot of them now. So we'll get some. I said I need them now. The pain's got me losing my damn mind. We'll get here when they get here. What's the pain from anyway? They poisoned me. Biotechnica. Everyone's got it. Their goddamn lungs are collapsing. Some are dead already. I swear once I'm back on my feet. Alright, shit was just trying to be polite. Never asked for your whole life story. Okay, whatever. Message Regina. I like when we message Regina because then it literally gives us like it gives us all the context for these. Took a gentle approach with Cedric. Guy already went through enough being in a lab rat for Biotechnica. Scabs took down a different approach. Decided to kick him while he was down. No wonder he snapped. Could have happened to anyone. Doubt there's a whole lot to uncover, but I guess you have your own methods. First the corpos, then the scabs. At least you managed to stop his downward spiral. Maybe he'll manage to snap out of it with his nomad family. Alright, well that wasn't too hard. 12:25 p.m. Still no Takamura. The suspense is killing me. These gigs are all intense. We got more. Animals Club, beat on the brat, not interested. Find it, incapacitate. So we got 3 more. Beat on the brat, another one, not interested. Apartments completed. Game time actually does progress pretty slowly. Yeah. I mean, I could speed time ahead, but this is a good way for us to just be able to get out ahead of some of this stuff and just kind of knock out some of these side quests, because I do enjoy these, and we never quite know what we're going to get out of these. These danger is very high on all of these. Neutralize the Cyberpsycho. So we got another one down there, got another one over here. We only have 3 left. So I'm actually really curious to see what happens after we complete these Cyberpsycho quests, because the cyberpsychosis stuff has absolutely had like mental health underpinnings. All right, this thing's glitched off, so that's fun. Mirror Mercmobile. I don't mind knocking these out. I know this has been a bit slower of a stream relative to some of the other parts, but I actually don't mind that. I kind of like the change in pacing. I've been able to kind of go around, get some tarot cards, revisit with Misty, check out some Cyberpsycho stuff. It's been nice. And as always, I'd like to just say thank you all for being here and supporting my content. It does mean a lot to me. No matter how you find your way here, I'm glad you have. I was kind of assuming Regina would just be giving us more of them indefinitely. It'd be interesting if they actually come to an end. It seems like they are going to. Like, there's a finite number of them, and so it's kind of like with Misty. We did all the tarot stuff, and then we got a little bit of like a tarot reading from her. I do wonder, they've been talking about these cyberpsychosis people as basically going into study, so I would be interested to know
Zeta Tech corporals walked into an auto shop. The punchline, none came back out. Apparently it's a family business that's fallen on hard times. My hunch is the owners finally snapped, and you know I got a nose for this stuff.
Oh, this again? Okay. We gotta look out for mines. Not want to explode. What is that noise? Ugh! What? The hell? Did I just hit a mine without realizing it? Must be it. That must be what that noise is. There's so many mines. There's so many mines. Holy crap. With a lot of quick hack experience here. Nope, 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 nope. Out of here. Dude. Oh, it's on the... Jeez. It's, God damn it. 7A, 1C, 55. On the ground and everything. Hey, I got a cease and desist from... Oh, God! I get it. Don't read your computer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's your private files. Yo! What's up, Gaston? Oh.
Are you happy with the autonomous shooting?
Shit! Oh, shit!
To confirm.
Oh, no! God damn it. Oh, God. Where's my Doom Shotty? Can't believe I almost died from shooting that stupid fire extinguisher. Stop. Don't do it. Let this be a warning to anybody thinking about buying this shop. Don't be fooled by the fantastic location or top shelf equipment, because guess what? None of it will be yours, even after you sign whatever agreement the corp gives you. What, you surprised? Well, so was I. I shouldn't have been, though. It was right there in front of my eyes in black and white. I didn't want to waste my time reading some complicated agreement with more twists than that Apple novel by a certain Virginia. I also didn't bother doing my research, or else I would have found out shop changed hands 3 times already this year, and previous owners disappeared without a trace. Except their debts, that is. All I can say is I've dealt with my fair share of gangs looking for protection money or a one-time heist, but nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever fucked me over quite like the suits at Zeta Tech. So I've got only one answer for them. A wrench in the face and a vice for their fingers. Ooh. Poor guy. Boy, he really mined the shit out of this too, didn't he? I want to read these messages. Hey, I got a cease and desist letter from Zeta Tech. They say I'm using that lift in my shop without a license. What is this? I bought the whole shop from them. Spent my life savings on it. They want to get me again because of some license? Could you check and see if they made a mistake somewhere and what sort of eddies we're talking about here? Gaston, I contacted Zetatech on your behalf, and it does seem that the equipment in the shop was not included in the deed. You bought the shop building, 4 walls, and the floor and ceiling. That's it. I asked about the price of the tech, but they're unable to give an estimate because the shop in which it's located has been bought out. Oh my god. But I'm the only one who bought it out. Think I would know. So what do we do now? Now they have to buy it back from you. And since prices have fallen in the area, you stand to lose a fair amount. But then we have priority to buy it back, and if we want to speed up the process, we could give them an offer right now to purchase the shop and equipment along with the loan approval for whatever is needed to cover the difference. That's the good news. Bad news is the equipment costs about double the shop itself. Oh my god. Fine, I don't know. Go ahead and file that loan application so I don't lose my chance. Then I'll think it over some more. Besides, what's a shop without equipment? I can't even work without it. Alright, Gaston, it's all ready. I just need your signature and you can reopen. Great, thanks for your help. It's hard to deal with this all by myself. I'm going back to work finally. That's awful. That is awful. Getting absolutely nailed by technicalities. Danger prowls Night City. Got a stalker on your tail, hired iron out for your blood, some freak giving you crooked looks and bad vibes, or maybe you're just looking to pad your personal security. The animal's got your back. Survival of the fittest. It's only law that matters in Night City. You hire us, we show your enemies just what that means. We'll protect you, your home, your workplace, your property. Hell, we're even happy to knock on a few doors if necessary. Become king of the jungle. Choose the animals. And this poor guy. Holy cow. Corpos are screwing everyone, man. There's a lot of dead corpos here. Makes sense. Electric Baton Alpha, Police Ballistic Vest, Foreclosure Agreements. Due to failure to uphold the terms of agreement number UPL 12064 and failure to respond to letter of demand for outstanding payment number 11055 in accordance with paragraph 628 of the aforementioned agreement, the real property shall become the property of Zetatech within 2 days of receipt of this document. The decision is not subject to appeal. It's terrible. Yeah, I mean, I feel really bad for the guy, and also it's really sad how often people get screwed by companies because they don't know how to read contracts and they get swindled. Like, god damn it. I am usually more inclined to empathize with the little man as opposed to the corporation. When it comes to this stuff. But I do agree that, like, are you freaking kidding me? How many mines is that I walked over? Too many. Lucky I got these new spring-loaded legs. Oh wow, there's even mines on the roof. Man, this guy went all out. This is not an OSHA-approved operation by any means. Why don't we go ahead and deactivate these explosives just so other folks don't get too hurt? When OSHA comes through here, they're in trouble, man. You get blown up. Kidding me. Idiot. Oh, I wasted too many of those. Alright, Regina. What you got for me? Auto shop owner was on a rampage, but I managed to put him to sleep. The way corps here gobble up small businesses, it's almost painful to watch. Before they even clock what's happening, the owners are locked out of their own premises and slapped with a colossal debt. Then they bust their asses for the corp from morning to midnight to make ends meet. Looks like this one preferred to take his own life Then give up the one place that was his. See how quickly the American dream can turn into the American nightmare? Yes, I do, Regina. Luckily, there won't be any left by the time Ocean gets there. It's true. I walked over all of them. Oops. I don't want camera mode. What am I doing? Technically, I think only have 2 more Cyberpsychos left. I think we just have those 2. So Takamura still hasn't called us. It's 1:47 p.m. I don't know if he's gonna call us. This might end up being another side quest stream here. I guess word to the wise: if you ever want to take me out, just throw landmines everywhere. I can't be bothered to canvass the area enough to know where they are. Just walk all over them. We are in lovely Coast View. I mean, Takamura's clearly got some stuff he's got to get figured out, man. I mean, I respect that the job he's doing is thorough. At least that's my assumption. You know, 56. I really want to know what time he's going to call me. I feel like it's going to be at night. The last time we saw him was at night. Kind of funny how you were looking for landmines in the air for a bit there. Yep.
What? Yeah. I don't want to, that's why. Not too bad. Not my problem, man. Fix it yourselves.
Near the gym, there's this walkway where people are falling off the map. Find out what's going on. Just don't disappear yourself.
Try not to, Regina. Underpass near the GIM. Some homeless folks have been disappearing there. I'd say it's a toss-up between the animals or the Voodoo Boys, but the attack on Eyewitness described was brutally horrific, and more importantly, there was only one attacker. Shit! Oh boy. Alright, let's get reloaded here. Can't shoot through the canvas. No. Oh boy. Oh shit. This guy's also a net runner. Oh. One more, come on. I don't want to have to reload again. God damn it. What? Finish him off, Skippy.
I'm sorry. This never happened.
Alright, I wonder what the deal is with this guy. hell of a get up here. Job offer. Heard from a friend you deal with recon and risk assessment. My interest is the Grand Imperial Mall. Can I count on you? Friend give you my rate too? For the gym, it's double. Fucking robbery, but it's a deal. Meet at your place tomorrow early. I'm in deep shit. Yo, I fucked up. Wanted to fry this gonk I hired, trying to leave no witnesses or pay the fucking fortune he asked, except he had defensive chrome and he eked out living and fucked me up bad. Then Netwatch joined the party and I barely slipped out in the net before they fried me. Fucking clusterfuck, man. I'm holed up in my spot and I feel like my brain's doing gymnastics in my skull. I'm seeing more and more scavs around, but I don't know if they're really here or not. Gotta help me out somehow, brother, please. In almost every one of these instances, the Cyberpsycho was the person who was, like, really feeling the squeeze. It was a VDB netrunner. Looks like he wanted to move up the ranks by taking over the gym. Hired a merc who he then tried to zero, blowing his own cover from Netwatch. I knocked him out, but he's still breathing. Okay, maybe this guy wasn't as innocent as I'm making it sound. Thanks for keeping him alive, V. I have my people coming to pick him up. Must have been scared shitless of that VDB den. Must have. All right, we got one more. One more Cyberpsycho, and that Cyberpsycho's here, which is not too far away from us, so here we go. Let's rock. I do wish we could get a little more backstory on these folks. Like, I like that we get a little bit of a glimpse into what's going on. I would love more context, like the ability to actually talk to these people after we get them. Because, like, we incapacitate them, and then Regina's like, oh, yeah, we're sending our people to get them. Like, I would love to be privy to the conversations that they have with them. Especially since we've been involved, right? Like, it's like, I want to know the tie that binds all of this together. And maybe we'll find out after I do this final mission. Cyberpsycho number 17, I presume.
Hey, heard about a massacre at a homeless camp. Send you the info I have so far, but it's pretty thin. Probably already gathered it's a Cyberpsycho. Oh, and I prefer if he didn't die.
That guy's just booking it. This is a Cyberpsycho, it's pretty damn odd. Could be a netrunner, can't quite rule out a remote attack. Still, what would they be looking for in a royal bum camp? Something's off here. Pop over and check it out. And do. Oh boy, got some smeared blood here on the ground. Shit.
What's this?
You know what's awful? is when we scan this, it literally just says dead bum. You guys notice how, like, when we scan certain people that are, like, out walking around or that are even laying on the ground, when we scan them, it gives us a name, tells us a little bit about them, and how these people have literally been relegated to bum? Like, I really wonder what goes into all the technology that comes along with scanning that basically gets these folks to be just straight up written off. It's kind of sad if you think about it. Because when you have it in your scanner as bum, it objectifies that person. It turns them, it dehumanizes them to a point where we can look at it and go, yep, it's just a bum, and move on. If you attach a name, that starts to personalize it. It starts to treat that person more like a human. And I wonder if that's by design. So when people are scanning here, they just sort of like walk past it. They don't think much about it. They don't connect to it on an empathic level. It's kind of like when people have lab mice, when they're doing like experiments and stuff, one of the rules is you don't name the mice, because if you name the mice, you start to become attached to them. It's kind of the same thing with humans. Sad. They're all just bum, dead bum. You know, you look at that and you're just like, oh, okay, dead bum, instead of like, oh, this is Johnny Morton. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the hell? Where did these people come from? I just get ambushed from like the top of the overpass? This thing. What a trap. Tony, can you send some more stuff, please? Yesterday I fell asleep in the tub and must have froze my fingers because I can't feel anything. Scanned all the Valentino's haunts and still can't find them. It's like Lely vanished into thin air. No digital traces, nothing. Not at all? Maybe check the dollhouse. It's pretty hard to breach their sub. Maybe just give it a rest. He'll come back once he gets homesick. Maybe you just need some space. Don't say I didn't warn you about the Valentinos. They're like that. One day they're professing their everlasting love. The next day they disappear sin parola. And all you got left are some dirty socks. I don't even try to pull that I told you so shit on me. You don't even know him. And you're putting him in a box with everyone else. And FYI, he does his own laundry. Listen, these fingers are as good as dead now. Can you set me up with some organic implants? Alright, just relax. Get some rest. Get what you need. Just promise me you'll get some shut-eye. Psycho was a young runner. Think she must have OD'd, then ducked outside at the last minute. Afraid she'd be left to rot all alone. One of the bums from the camp took her in, but when she woke up, her mind was cracked. Guess she thought they kidnapped her. Who knows? Maybe there wasn't a thought at all between her ears. Just a droning buzz. But anyway, she awaits your mystery treatment. Won't be easy to reverse what she went through, but I'm glad you didn't kill her. Nonetheless, with the right care, she might just get back up on her feet. Alright, so I just got an achievement. It's 3:10 p.m. Still no call from Takamura. Is that really it? There's no... Huh. There's no actual follow-up to that? CD Projekt Red, come on! No way! Wait for more. I wait for an update about from Regina. Really? Auto. Remember, V, it's unwise to engage on idle time. I am sometimes known to be rather impatient. Driver is waiting. So literally, we're gonna get nothing from Regina here. That's so frustrating. Which Cyberpsycho mission is the most memorable, and why is it the tub demon? Tub demons. I'm trying to remember which one that was. We've done so many of them. I mean, honestly, the one that we just did with the guy at the auto shop, like, that one really sucks. That guy got screwed massively. Yeah, so Regina's not calling. We've done everything there is to do. I may actually need to go home and rest. That may actually be the way. I mean, we have all these side gigs to do, but I don't. Right, so no more Cyberpsycho. Dock. Oh, there is fast travel in this game. I've been driving all over the place. Point, exploration, purchasable vehicles, apartment for rent, tarot, already done. Your apartments and vehicles. Wait, I have 2 apartments? The hell? Oh, because Judy gave me hers. That's right. Forgot about that. All right, well, let's go back home, I guess. Maybe we take us a little sleep. No one was the Maelstrom woman rising from the pool of blood and oh yeah, that one was intense. That was real intense. It was like really creepy. It didn't even feel like the rest of the game. Yeah, I guess it's time to go back to our apartment, take a little rest. So it would seem. Hilarious to me that we didn't get a call. I mean, I'm glad we could knock some stuff out though. Like, I really intend to do the majority of the game. Like, we'll probably have some streams too where we knock out some of these gigs that we have. I just don't know about the brawling ones. I don't know that I want to dump all my points in this fight. I'm not going to do the NCPD police scanner, so 100%ing this game would be pretty intense. Driving. I feel like I've taken this exit ramp 1,000 times. Go. What do you think? We take a little 24-hour nap? That way we ensure that it's been a day. see what the news has for us.
Welcome to N54. It's time for your local news. Violence continues to plague the Badlands. Shootings have been reported along the 166, and 101. Eyewitness accounts point to inter-clan disputes. Attacks on unaffiliated persons has not exceeded the average. However, in an abundance of caution, the NCPD has raised the threat level to 2, advising travelers to avoid side roads. We'll continue to keep you informed as the situation develops.
Up the stairs. All right. Well, let's take a nap. Actually, kind of nice to be back home. All right. Great view. There. Look what I found. The fools look handsome even though you can tell by the look in their eyes they've seen war. Or maybe I'm seeing things. I don't know. Anyway, thought you might like that. Oh, and the dog's name is Shorty, by the way. It's from Pan Am. Oh, it's from Pan Am. You know what? Hey, Pan Am.
Hi there, V.
How's it going with Rogue?
That's going. Knock on wood.
So, things are settled?
For now, we're good at avoiding each other, and that's fine with me.
Take care.
Talk soon, V.
Damn it. I was hoping she'd be like, come over. But she didn't. The hell? Why do I have stuff in my stash? Not worried about it. Well, back to bed, maybe? Oh, Regina.
Hey, V. Haven't heard of any Cyberpsycho attacks lately. I think it's time we put an end to our little arrangement. Drop on by sometime. We'll catch up in person.
Dude, he really is reciprocating. He really is. Not gonna call me. It's kind of hilarious. Because it's been more than 24 hours. And he hasn't called me. He's returning the favor. He's like, yo, V, remember when you left me hanging for 25 episodes? Oh my god. Hey, Carnage, that's what I have.
Hey, wait, don't go! Blue Moon, Red Menace, Purple Force, it's us, cracks! After making waves in Tokyo, Sydney, and Paris, their next stop is on your doorstep. Night City, expect the unexpected!
Uh-oh, is it about to rain? Yep. Alright. Well, let's go talk to Regina then, I guess. Freaking Takamura, man. V, you treat me like shit, I treat you like shit. Honestly, it makes sense. See, now I need to change this to not right now V. Oh!
The information from Okada-san, very valuable. I also learned something through my own efforts. We must meet.
Where'll it be this time? Trash processing plant? Deserted N-cart station?
In the south of Japantown, there is a street market. It is on the footbridge above the main street. Use the elevators. It is easy to get lost. I am on my way there. Do not make me wait.
That had some bite to it. That had some real bite to it. Do not make me wait. I'm just gonna talk to Regina, buddy, and then I'll be over. Oh, God. Alright. Bazaar, Kazaki Street, Japantown. You cannot miss it. Bazaar is on the upper level quite high, so it's worth using the public elevator. I think there are two. Okay, I will. Hey, Regina. Thank you. "25 episodes later." No, we're good. We're good. We're gonna talk to Regina. And then we're gonna meet with Takamura. What a dump she lives in. All right, come on. I want to know more.
How'd you describe Watson in one sentence?
The Japanese built Kabuki, but the Chinese live there mostly. North side used to be plated in chrome, now it's covered in rust. We have an entire aquarium full of corpos, and that's no metaphor. Know what all that comes out to?
One sentence is never enough?
That's Watson.
Alright, I don't care about that stuff. What's the situation? I want to know more about this.
Just that I'm truly floored by your dedication. You didn't kill a single cyberpsycho. I know how much easier and simpler it can be to take a life rather than save one. Really, V, nice work. Some of the cyberpsychotic have started therapy. Even if they can't be saved, at least maybe we'll learn more about the disease. Because I refuse to believe it's just some kind of cyberware overload. Who knows? Maybe I'll learn enough to write a piece on it. But anyway, the reward is yours.
Thanks.
That's it? I get pants and a harness. Which is fine, but I'm not even the proper level for it. I need this balaclava to come off, man. Oh, thank God. All right. All right. All right. I look ridiculous. Got my moon shoes, my onesie, and my cowboy hat. Ye freaking haw, baby.
About cyberpsychosis? Not really, but thanks again for the help, V.
That's it, huh? Man, what a dump she works out of. Jeez, I would have thought that this would be a little bit nicer of an area. Alright, well. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I'm gonna roll up and Takamura's gonna be like, what are you wearing? Don't show up here and meet with me looking like that. What the hell are you doing?
Hi, it's Cynthia, Pepe's wife. Remember me? Anyway, I guess it was just another day in the life for you. And me? Well, it was the end of mine. Pepe threw me out. I'm out on the street. I just hope you're proud of yourself.
It's not my fault! It's not my fault! What? Ah! The two of them are meant for each other, man. The two of them are meant for each other. They defer all accountability and strife in their relationship to somewhere external. By triangulating myself into their affairs, they literally have now just used me as the container of all the deferred bullshit that they're not willing to tackle in their marriage. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But I am going to say this, right? Like, because that's a really easy moment for me to get really defensive. And you don't need to. I did the right thing by detriangulating myself and telling Pepe to deal with it himself. So she can be mad at me. The thing is, chat, when you take a stand and when you actually set a boundary and you make your value known, you are inherently going to anger or put off certain people. There is no way to be boundaried and strong in your convictions and also placate everybody. So her anger there, in the same way that I said that it was anger about Pepe when he got mad at me for setting my boundary, I can look at this the same way. She's not mad at me. She's mad at her marriage. She's mad at all the machinations that led to that moment in their relationship. It's not about me. So if I depersonalize that, I can go about my day way more effectively than if I sit here and stew about it. I can have my initial emotional reaction of like, what the hell? But beyond that, like, you put it in context. You go, what? It's not about me. I set my boundary. I did what I was supposed to do there. You can be mad at me all you want, but I'm not going to continue to involve myself. I'm not going to chase after you. I'm not going to try to justify myself. None of that stuff. It's between you and your husband. Or probably soon to be ex-husband, I suppose, at this point. She can be pissed at me all she wants, but the two of them contributed to the tango that is their marriage. If anything, she should be mad at him for getting me involved instead of talking to her himself. I mean, granted, I take accountability for the fact that I chose to get involved there. We had some great conversations as a result of that. My bad. It's just the engine on this car is just so powerful. Alright, this is gonna be real interesting to see what my man Takamura has to say. Oh! Road's wet. I got my summer tires on. My bad. I am dressed for the occasion. At least we know that.
Violence continues to plague the Badlands. Shootings have been reported along the 1, 166, and 101. Eyewitness accounts.
Oh boy, here we go.
Disputes. Attacks on unaffiliated persons has not exceeded the average. However, in an abundance of caution,
Cool pants. I want pants like that. Leggings, I guess.
I do not understand. Does Arasaka not have enough of its own people?
Look around, sir. Things are heating up in the city. Suits know one spark is all it takes for Japantown to go up in flames.
Riots are always best put down by folks not sporting your brand name.
Ah, you are here.
Yes. I am.
There's no time to waste, B.
Goro, good to see you.
As it is to see you, B.
You really gonna do this in front of a cop? No? Okay, good.
I acquired some information of my own. Do you know who most wish to honor Arasaka-sama with the parade? His murderer. The irony makes me sick.
What's in it for Yorinobu? Doesn't seem like the kind who care to honor tradition.
That is so. Japanese heritage is one element. Yorinobu will also put on a display of power. The floats are sure to be beautiful, but the wizened eye will see in them a hidden message to his foes.
What message would that be?
I am here, Gumindomo. Watch your backs.
Not one for subtlety, is he? Still don't see how this gets us anywhere.
I have had an idea. Look to the sky. The dash floats will pass precisely this way. If I could just get onto Hanako-sama's float, I could speak with her in private.
Get there how?
Why jump? Of course.
Can't, dude, no way. What a ridiculous idea. No.
Expectations way too high, Goro. Couldn't pull that off even if you still had your fancy implants.
I have thought of a solution. While you are occupied with your shady dealings, I learned more about the floats. They are all kept in one place, Arasaka Industrial Park. It is there that they prepare them. We need only to break into the compound, find the right float and inject a virus into its system. You will then be able to disable any security before I sneak inside.
Lots of ways to skin this particular cat, you know. Gonna need...
I know what you need. It is taken care of. I have an infected shard. It was not cheap, but the man who sold it to me guaranteed it will work.
Where'd you get this shard?
Across the canal.
Kabuki? Might actually be half decent soft then. And if it isn't, got a few tricks up my sleeve too.
This is good to know. Let us move on.
Oh, this is gonna be real interesting.
To take control of the float is one thing, but not all. The security concerns me, the snipers especially. I will be an easy target. But I may have an answer. Okada-san mentioned the city cameras. If we gain access to them, We'll see exactly where the snipers are. You can deal with them as I advance.
Fair enough.
Sounds like a plan.
You agree just like that? The risks are considerable.
Yeah, well, getting more and more used to that.
And now, what would you say to a small test? We must try the shot. The camera control room is in front of us. You must get inside and infect the network. That is all.
Uh-huh. And in the meantime, you'll do what? Crack open a can of suds?
I will not touch alcohol. At work, I will watch your back. Now, get to it.
Break into the security room. All right. Can do. Yeah? Yes?
There's no time to waste, B.
I understand that, buddy. Alright, here we are. It would suck if I didn't have 6 points in strength there. Watson Horror Diary. Monday. What a fucking world! Finally, I get my ass on Ziggy's show, and right before I walk on stage, a fucking hospital somewhere gets shot up. This dick cancels the show last minute for a special app about fucking victims. Who the fuck cares? Is anyone gonna remember him in a week? Did they spend half their fucking career to get on that show? No, they just fucking died. I got my ass on stage anyway. Let them know that you don't cockblock a goddamn TV messiah, but security fucked me up so bad, what was scrolled up got corrupted or some shit. Tuesday. Felt fed up today. Made a move on town hall to protest the fucking disgraceful neglect of war vets. Got my hands on a dress made of sin fetuses, chanted my fucking throat raw half all the way downtown there until the director of Wet Dream recognized me and said I was looking sexy. So I leaned up against the schism, fake choked on an air dick, and slapped my ass because I could tell he loves pretty boys. He took my back to his place, chained me to his king bed, and fucked me raw till I snapped each and every bedpost. He showered me in eddies, and I already got plans to see him sometime next. Maybe I can screw my way into his next PD. Wednesday. I got into an argument with Ruth DeZang. We talked about the normies who died saving some kids after a nuke pop during some corp war or other. Call her a tough-ass bitch on TV if you want, but she got all blubbery baby on me, so whatever I figured I'd say something nice. I said they were pretty Nova, and maybe they'd want to, be my fans. Hell, looking at old photos, I was like, it's a legit fucking shame, because half of them got bulges halfway to Denver. Real waste of good dick. She just gave me a stupid smile and told me to fuck off, cunt. Thursday. Friday. Christ, I don't know which way's up. I'm fucking wiped. The boys brought over some lace shit or something, but it hit me like a fucking fire truck. I don't know what happened, but everything smells like piss. There's a horse mask in the bathroom. If I had to guess, it was probably me who wore it and got rode around. My knees do kind of kill thinking about it now. I don't know. I just hope it was that director from Tuesday and not that skank from Apartment 3. It was a wild ride. That was a wild ride there, chat. Real wild ride. Watson has a good time. It seems interesting that little message is sitting in this security room, but man, the person who works this control room is horny. Waves of pleasure cascade over my body, filling every pore of my being like ocean water through hot sand. More, I want more. How long I waited to feel his breath on my neck, his hands wrapped around my waist, his fingers caressing my lips. Our bodies are entwined in a primal dance, moving faster and faster to the rhythm of the creaking bed springs, our skin bathed in flickers of neon. I can't hear myself moaning, but I must be since my throat is dry. I can't feel what my hands are doing, but the blood under my fingernails means I'm digging into his back. He's no longer kissing me, but nibbling, biting, pulling himself toward me harder. His control over me untamed, animalistic. It's so hot in the room that even his chrome is overheating, the bedsheets clinging to our sweat-soaked bodies. Alright, I'm just gonna infect the security system, honestly. Like, jeez.
Fucking worked.
That's all it took, huh? Easy peasy. Oops, wait a minute. Not that I really ever use those, but might as well have them. Alright, easy peasy.
Done. System's ours.
The shard works. Good. The easy work we have done. To break into Arasaka Industrial Park will not be such a bed of roses. But before we discuss that...
Yes. You get a bite to eat? Get a little sushi?
Sit. I have not eaten since yesterday.
You got it, buddy. I'm hungry too.
Give me the best on the menu.
I highly recommend the yakitori today.
Anything that isn't local, please.
See you tomorrow.
See you later, big dog. All right.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but this Sokka scum might actually prove useful. He's a well-trained dog. Needs orders, that's all. And when he outlives his purpose, we'll flatline him.
Easy, Johnny.
He's not on his A game, sure. But even without implants, he could decommission us easily.
Where's that come from? Ever seen him in action?
No, just no. From the way he walks, look in his eye.
We'll come back to this later.
What is this?
Hey, yakitori.
Okay, I have laid the plan. 1. We break into Arasaka Industrial Park. 1.5. We hack Hanako-sama's float. 2. During the parade, with my help, you eliminate any snipers. 3. I get onto the float. 4. I convince Hanako-sama of the truth.
Forgot 5. Oda zeros us and pisses on our corpses. He won't ever be less than a foot away from Hanako.
Oda would not dare raise his hand against me.
What about me?
That is a different matter. I would advise you to watch your distance.
Yeah, so I was actually just going to say something about that, Lexi. Johnny doesn't seem to consider the fact that Takamura was literally the bodyguard for the fallen freaking Emperor of Japan. Exactly. I was just going to say that. The reason I chose that option is because Takamura is not to be messed with. There's a reason that Takamura was the bodyguard of the Emperor of Japan. So even though he may seem aloof at times and a little like floaty and ephemeral, he's legit. And I think that it is okay for us to be somewhat skeptical of him. I wish that he would let on a little bit more of his motives. It very well could be that he's worried about being the scapegoat for all of this and wants people to know that Yorinobu took down Shiguro in part because he was Shiguro's bodyguard. And maybe takes great pride in that job and wants to make sure that the real story is out there. I mean, I know he also has alluded to the fact that he wants to be, like, let off the hook because there's a chance that people are going to think that was him. But, like, he's legit. So we have every right to be worried. But also, like, he's been cool so far.
Well, sounds like a suicide run, but done dumber shit than this, so
Things even more stupid than stealing from Arasaka.
None dumber yet, no. Set the bar pretty high with that one.
Now, we part. Reconnaissance is required.
You're a stranger in a strange land. I'm going with you.
Little thumbs up from Johnny there. You see that? Little thumbs up from Johnny there? He's skeptical of Takamura, but I don't think for the same reasons that I am. I wouldn't even know that I'd call myself skeptical, but Johnny is absolutely on edge with this. So we get that little subtle thumbs up from him, right? Like we get a little nod of approval.
You with your hands, skills, mind of a thief. Agreed. This we will do together.
Cook! Louder! Louder!
Yorinobu.
In the flesh.
He eliminated the last obstacle between himself and complete power.
They
surrendered it to him. Arasaka, an empire built to last. Before Yorinobu set fire to it from the inside, all of this began with him. The factions, power struggles, all of this. Ksa!
Where's Yorinobu's rebellious streak come from?
No one knows this. Perhaps soon I shall ask him in person.
Got factions inside Arasaka? What are they?
There are three. Kiji, Hato, and Taka. Kiji longs for stability. The old order. They are united behind Hanako-sama. The liberal wing, Hato, support Michiko-sama, Saburo's granddaughter. I know little about her. And then there is Taka, treacherous thugs who support Yorinobu. Not to mention even smaller factions.
Tell me about him some other time. Why'd Saburo tolerate it all? Can't get my head around it. Could've kept his son on a short leash.
Arasaka-sama was a strong and disciplined man. The strongest man I have ever known. And yet, at a critical moment, he showed a weakness.
For Yorinobu?
For his daughter. When Yorinobu formed his band of hounds, declared war on his own family, Arasaka-sama could have crushed him with one word. Yet he did not. For he did not wish his daughter to suffer. When Yorinobu returned, his tail between his legs, she persuaded her father to give him a second chance. Do you understand? Hanako-sama saved Yorinobu from the consequences of his deeds.
Wait, think she's complicit in Saburo's murder?
I think we are all to blame. We allowed ourselves to be tricked. But we will correct this soon. Will you join me?
Wow. You can hear the admiration in Takamura's voice when he refers to Saburo. And I think that that makes it all the more intense that Hanako and Yorinobu have acted in the way that they have. I also think that it is really cool that he's able to reflect on the fact that everybody, to some extent, contributed to this. However, this goes to a conversation that we had in the chat portion of stream, which is, don't ever underestimate just how easily we can get sucked into benefit of the doubt. I'm a big believer in benefit of the doubt. I believe with people that we have a lot of trust in, it's important to give benefit of the doubt. But I think Takamura is referring a little bit to maybe some subtle clues that may have been enough to rub against benefit of the doubt. And benefit of the doubt ultimately got everybody in trouble, because Yorinobu was able to pull the rug out from everybody by killing his father in cold blood. And I think to some extent there is a potential level of trauma there, or at least really heightened aversive arousal, because if nobody was expecting that to happen and then it did, it really flips a lot of things on its head. It would understandably make everybody who has been a part of this, particularly Takamura, have a hard time trusting folks, because he never saw this coming. He probably blames himself for it to some extent of, I wish I could have stopped it, which is a little bit victim blamey, because Yorinobu ultimately is the one that took advantage of that situation and the goodwill of the people around him. He is ultimately the bad guy here. Takamura has to be very careful not to internalize this too much to a point where he blames himself. He probably has been told from the time that he took on his bodyguard position, that he is one and the same to Saburo's well-being. That basically anything that happens to Saburo is ultimately your fault, because your job is to be there no matter what. And his failure to be there has got to cut really deep, because I know he did this for a long time. There's just a lot going on psychologically with him, because, I mean, Yorinobu flipped a lot of shit on its head by being involved in this in a way. And we don't know enough about Hanako yet to really be able to fully understand what involvement she had. At this point, it's mostly conjecture from Takamura. This is fascinating stuff.
Sure, why not?
Let us go from here.
I hope you enjoyed it. Please come again.
Sawdust and plastic. Come. I have found a good place to observe.
Oh, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me, chat. This is where we're gonna end it. We're gonna pick up coming in real hot in part 26. So those of you that are watching the VOD, I appreciate so much you taking the time to watch this. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know that it was a little bit slower toward the beginning here, but we got some real good stuff teed up and ready to go for part 26, and I want to make sure that I am fully ready to go. So I leave you on a little bit of a cliffhanger here. We got to talk to Takamura. We got some background. It's very fascinating. I'm excited to do some recon. It's going to be good. 26 is going to be great. So thanks for taking the time. Make sure you follow me on social media. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you enjoyed any part of this or want to comment on anything that happened during the playthrough. Those of you that become members or send a tip or purchase any merchandise on the store while I'm offline, thank you for doing that. I appreciate your support of my channel. Share it with folks you think could benefit from it, and I will catch you in part 26, where we're going to do some recon with our boy Takamura. It'll be great.